Good morning, children. So, already we have finished the magnetic effects of electric current, this chapter. So, one more biology chapter is the last chapter of biology. That is heredity and evolution. So, we'll finish off this chapter and we'll follow it by another finished chapter, that is electricity. Start. Heredity and evolution. In this chapter, we are going to study about the basic concept of heredity. What is heredity? Why heredity is necessary? What is variations? What is the importance of variation? How variations are produced? Already we have studied how the variations are produced in the reproduction lesson. That is how the organism reproduce. In that lesson we have studied already how the variation happens. What are the how the variation happens due to mitosis, how the variation happens due to meiosis. That is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. That all we have studied. Again, we are that same concept is going to repeat over here. Variations. Then we are going to study about the Mendel's law of inheritance. Mendel's law of inheritance. So Gregor Mendel's law of heredity. You can tell that those laws are we are going to study monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross. That we are going to study. After that, we are going to study about speciation, how the species are produced in the evolution part. What is evolution? What is the importance of evolution? What are the factors responsible for evolution? What is speciation? What are the factors responsible for speciation? All that we are going to study in this chapter. So how do organism reproduce? In that chapter, I told you how variation usually produced. So, I'll tell you about something called as DNA replication. First, then we'll follow by the other concept of the lesson. Already I told you what is that DNA replication. So, before knowing DNA replication, you should know about the cell. Cell contains nucleus, nucleus contains many of the parts such as nuclear membrane. So this is nuclear membrane. Then we have nucleolus. We have chromatin network, thread-like structures. Chromatin network, that is thread-like structure. Thread-like structure present in the nucleus of the cell, which is responsible for transfer of character from one generation to other generation, or it controls all the activities of the cell by producing different type of proteins, nucleic proteins actually. So this chromatin network, so the thread-like structures which are responsible for the activities of the cell is called chromatin network. This chromatin network during cell division, it condenses to form into chromosomes. Remember, like So what happens? The chromatin network, which is responsible for the to maintain the constant number of chromosomes generation by generation. Constant number. See, in our body, each cell is having 46 chromosomes. Means all these 46 chromosomes are carried to the offspring, or offspring means young ones. Young ones. Always it is maintained constant number of chromosomes, always maintained generation by generation. That is because of the chromatin network, which and so chromatin network actually it produces protein which are necessary for the metabolic activities of the body. Understood? So it is responsible for the variations. Variations means already told you, due to changes in the DNA during the cell division, new character will be developed in the organism. That is called as variation. That is called as variations. So actually, variations are it is responsible for the variations. All that. See, during cell division, what happens? The thread-like structures, which are called as chromatin network, are converted into thickened structure called as chromosomes. Here, this is chromosome. One single chromosome. Single chromosome. This is called centromere. Centromere. It's called as centromere. Understood? Centromere. So this is called chromatids. Chromatids. Just don't. So see, thickened structure, it becomes condensed to form chromosomes during cell division. During cell division. During cell division, it will be condensed. So it will be condensed. So this is about the chromosomes. Chromosomes. Understood? See here, this chromosomes actually during the cell division only can be observed in the cell. So when we are observing this chromosomes or cell inside the microscope, so chromosomes cannot be seen by our compound microscope. It should be seen by our it can be seen in the compound microscope, but not like you cannot see what is how it is made up of. But in ultra electronic microscope, you can see how it is made up of. Understood? So usually chromosomes are made up of what? Usually chromosomes are made up of nothing but DNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Nucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Understood? So and protein and there are proteins and nucleic acid. Chromosome is made up of protein and nucleic acid. That is nothing but DNA. See, this DNA contains a small unit called as genes. DNA contains small units called gene, which is responsible to control the specific character in living organism. Character, or we call it as trait also. Trait also means character. Remember this word, trait, because it appears in the lesson frequently. Trait. Character or trait. So a single trait or character, a single character of living organism is controlled by a specific genes present in the DNA. Specific genes present in the DNA. See, color of the eye, if you take color of the eye, black color means it's controlled by a gene. The skin color, melanin. So there are responsible. See, melanin controlling gene will be there. Insulin controlling gene will be there. All like genes will be there. The small unit of DNA is called a gene, which is responsible to control the specific character trait. Is it clear? So this is the DNA. Actually, it controls the characters. I hope you understood this one, DNA. So DNA is a double helix model. Means if you see the DNA in the microscope, it looks like a twisted ladder. It looks like a twisted ladder. If you see the ladder will be somewhat like this. So ladder will be like this, you know it. So twisted ladder. Say twisted ladder. See. So double helix model, we call it as a Watson-Crick model. Watson-Crick model antane ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. Watson-Crick model. Watson-Crick model. Because these are the person who discovered that structure of DNA. Watson and Crick. They got the Nobel Prize also for this discovery. So they told that DNA structure is double helix model, which is twisted. See here, this is the strand of DNA. This is the first strand, and this is second strand. You can see this strip. So strand. This is strand. In between that, there are structures like this. I'll tell you what is that. So you can see this is the one strand. This is second strand. These strands are twisted like this. So actually, this DNA is made up of polynucleotide. Polynucleotide. This is one strand is called as one polynucleotide. One strand. This is one polynucleotide. This is one polynucleotide. Understood? So the double helix model DNA molecule is made up of polynucleotide. Two polynucleotides are there. This is one. These polynucleotides are nothing but strands which are twisted. See, this polynucleotide, two polynucleotide. So this is one polynucleotide and this is one polynucleotide. This polynucleotide are made up of. So this nucleotide. See, polynucleotide means what? It is made up of. This one strand is made up of nucleotides. Many nucleotides are there. So each nucleotide is made up of pentose sugar, phosphate group, and nitrogenous base. base. Remember this. So I am drawing this. This is the one strand, and this is another strand. Remember, like, so this is a polynucleotide. This is one polynucleotide. This is one nucleotide. See, this is one nucleotide. So one nucleotide contains, say, one nucleotide contains a pentose sugar, which is having the 5 carbon. This is pentose sugar. One phosphate group. Phosphate group will be there. Is it clear? One phosphate group will be there. So one phosphate group will be there. Then one more nitrogenous base. Nitrogenous base. See here. So this is one polynucleotide which contains a phosphate group. So this is another polynucleotide which contains phosphate group. Understood? Like this. And here, so this also contains polynucleotide. This is also polynucleotide which contains nucleotide, and it is anti-parallel. Here. See, this is facing this side, facing downwards, like anti-parallel. So in between this polynucleotide, this is one polynucleotide. In between these polynucleotide, there is a nitrogenous base. Nitrogenous base will be there. So this is nitrogenous base. This is nitrogenous base. In between these nitrogenous base, there is the hydrogen bond. Why I am telling all these details is because to understand the DNA replication. I hope you understood the point, understood the concept here. The DNA is nothing but the DNA is made up of deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA is a double helix model which is made up of polynucleotide strand. Two polynucleotide strands are anti-parallel. They look like a twisted ladder. So this DNA, small unit of DNA is called a gene. This gene is responsible to control a specific character in the body, or called as trait. Understood? So the DNA, I told you double helix, it is made up of polynucleotide. This is one polynucleotide. These both strands polynucleotide are connected by nitrogenous base. This in between these the nitrogenous base of this and nitrogenous base of this will join together by the help of hydrogen bond. Remember, hydrogen bond. Is it clear? Have you understood? Any doubt? Pratham Bhatt? Rashmi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Pratham Bhatt, okay. Understood now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, anybody not understood, please let me know. If you are not able to understand, let me know. So, this is how it is actually. These two strands of DNA are joined together by hydrogen bond. Why I am telling you, I told you. See here, what happens here? We'll see now. So, nitrogen, see. every polynucleotide, see, both polynucleotides are connected. These nucleotides are also connected with a nitrogenous base. In between this nitrogenous base of this strand and this strand, there is a hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bond. So this is hydrogen bond. You think that this is hydrogen bond in between this. What happens is, see, during cell division, I told you, during cell division, what happens? Exact copies of DNA are produced. If a human cell is having 46 chromosomes, means exact 46 chromosome copy of exact 46 chromosomes are produced during the cell division. That is called as DNA replication. During the cell division, to ensure the equal distribution, see here. During the cell division, to ensure the equal distribution of genetic material to the daughter cell, exact copy of the DNA are produced during the cell division. That is called as DNA replication. Hope you understood. If a human cell is having 46 chromosomes, that cell is going to be divided. Divide means it has to produce exact copies of DNA. Another 46 chromosomes has to be produced by that cell to ensure the equal division of the chromosome to the daughter cells. Understood? That is called as DNA replication. Write down if you need it. Write down DNA replication. To ensure the equal distribution of genetic material to daughter cells, exact copies of DNA is produced during the exact copies of DNA is produced during the cell division. During cell division. This is called DNA replication. Call it as DNA replication. So how it is done? This is done by the help of enzymes. There are certain enzymes which helps to break the bond. So here what happens? The hydrogen bond in between these nitrogenous bond breaks here. So here I'll show you it here. This is one polynucleotide and this is one polynucleotide. These are connected by the nitrogenous base. I told you. Nitrogenous base. In between this, there is a bond. This bond will break. Hydrogen bond will break by the help of enzymes present in the cell. So here two strands are there. So this is one strand, this is one poly. This polynucleotide, by the help of proteins, enzymes, it produces one more strand, which is one more strand is produced, and this becomes one DNA. Here. And this produces one more strand, and this becomes one DNA. Here, single DNA was that. So now it is exact copy of the DNA is produced by breaking the bond between the two polynucleotide. Two polynucleotide. See here. Like this, what happens is, see, I told you this is anti-parallel. Anti-parallel. See, this strand will produce one more strand, and this produces one more strand. Like this is called as DNA replication. DNA replication. Why this DNA replication has to happen? To ensure the equal distribution to the daughter cell. See, here, like during the mitosis, I told you meiosis and mitosis. Mitosis is cell division where the parent cell exactly divides into two with daughter cells, and each having the same number of chromosomes as in the parent cell. The 46 chromosomes are present in the parent cell means during the cell division, if mitosis cell division happens, 46 chromosomes will be present in the daughter cells also. That is called as mitosis cell division. In meiosis, what happens? Half the number. Like that. So, why this DNA replication has to happen? To ensure the equal distribution of the DNA to the daughter cells. To maintain the constant number of chromosomes generation by generation. Understood? Is it clear? Like that. During this cell division, there are changes happens in the DNA. Certain changes happens in the DNA because of the cell division. It may be mitosis or meiosis. Because of that, new character will be generated. That new character sometimes give survival advantage, some not give the survival advantage. Understood? So whenever there is a change in the DNA during the cell division, a new character will be developed. That is called as variation. So I hope you understood the DNA replication process. DNA replication process. So why DNA replication has to happen? To maintain the constant number of chromosomes generation by generation. That is the main reason. So what is the importance of chromosomes? So chromosomes actually they are made up of DNA. This DNA controls the characters of the living organism by gene. I told you. And they transfer the character. They transfer the character from one generation to another generation. That is called as heredity. Heredity means what? Transfer of character from one generation to other generation. We have seen Amitabh Bachchan, a well-known superstar of Bollywood. So his height, his height and his voice is a very unique. Right? Like voice is very unique. It is well recognized by everyone, saluted by everyone. You maybe heard about Kaun Banega Crorepati, the program which is hosted by this Amitabh Bachchan. Unique voice of the Amitabh Bachchan. That is one character. So height is one character. Understood? Like that is transferred to his son. Understood? Or you can see one more veteran actor of Kannada industry, that is Dr. Rajkumar. See, Dr. Rajkumar was a very artist with all the skills. He was a singer, he was a good actor, he was good in all type acting. It may be heroism, it may be negative shade, whatever it is, he does it in a good manner. Understood? So that character has been transferred to the children. It may be Punit Rajkumar, it may be Suraj Kumar, it may be Raghavendra Rajkumar. All three are singers. If you tell, all three are good dancers. All good are three All these three are good actors. See, the transfer of character. Understood? Hmm? So, transfer of character from one generation to the other generation is called as heredity. We call it as heredity. Understood? Means the chromosomes helps in means transferring the character from one generation to other generation. Understood? That's known as heredity. That's known as heredity. That controls the heredity. So it will control all the metabolic activities of the cell. Chromosomes control all the activities of the DNA controls all the activities of the cell. So all these are importance of DNA. Understood? I hope you understood the DNA replication process and importance of the DNA. Importance of DNA. I was telling about variations. So the changes in the DNA produces new character in the organism. That new character is called as variation. That new character is called as variation. Write down these two definitions. Tell you heredity. Heredity means what? It's a process. It is a transfer of character or a trait. Transfer of character or a trait from one generation to other generation. One generation to other generation. Other generation. One generation to other generation is called as heredity. It's called heredity. Then one more variation. So due to changes in the DNA, during the cell division, new character is developed due to the changes in the DNA during cell division. New character is developed. That new character is called variation. That new character is called as variation. Understood? So I told you already mitosis and meiosis. Meiosis, during the mitosis, so parent cell is having 46 chromosomes, means exactly the 46 chromosomes will be present in the daughter cells during the mitosis. Understood? Meiosis. Meiosis, what happens? If the 46 chromosomes are present in the mother cell, the parent cell, means exact half of the number of chromosomes are transferred to the daughter cells. That daughter cells again they unite together. See, like female, male. Think that 10 chromosomes are there. 10 chromosomes. This is also having 10 chromosomes. During the meiosis, what happens? The daughter cells will have 5 chromosomes. This is also having 5 chromosomes. This is called, that's why it's called a reductional cell division. Reductional cell division. Here, the number of chromosomes in the parent cell is reduced to the half of the number. This is called 2n number of chromosomes. 2n number of chromosomes. This is n number of chromosomes. These are called as gametes. I'm going fast because already I taught you this. During the fertilization, both these two daughter cells, that is haploid cells. These are haploid. Gametes are nothing but haploid cells. These haploid cells unite, fuse together to form zygote. The zygote will have 2n number of chromosome again. See, 2n number again it divides. Meiosis division happens, half the number of chromosome is half the number of chromosomes. Means haploid cells. Haploid cells from the male and the haploid cells from the female will unite together, combine together to form a zygote which contains 2n number of chromosomes. Again, 10 chromosomes will be present in the next generation. See, this is one generation, then this is next generation. So generation by generation, constant number of chromosomes will be maintained. Maintained in case of mitosis also and meiosis also. Understood? During this cell division, during this reproduction, many of the many DNA changes. There is a changes in the DNA. Because of the changes in the DNA, it produces a new character. New character, that is nothing but variations. Nothing but variations. So sometimes variation gives survival advantage. Survival advantage. They give survival advantage. Means due to the changes in the environment, some animals in a group cannot survive, some animals can survive. Understood? So generation by generation, the new character will make the animal to survive in a new condition, new condition. Understood? That is called as variation. Due to that variation, new character will be developed. New character will be developed. That new character may give survival advantage or may not give survival advantage, but a new character will be developed. Development of new character will happen. That may give survival advantage or may not give survival advantage. Survival advantage in the sense, generation by generation, it becomes more strong to adapt itself to the new environment. That is a survival advantage. Or sometimes it may not give the variations, cannot all the time cannot give the survival advantage, but the character will add on. Understood? If survival advantage, if variations are not seen in an organism, it may become extinct. Extinct means the animals will be not present at all. So it becomes extinct, means it will the generation, the species will not be present in the environment. You know what is species? Species is a group of animals or plants which has a similar character and can breed among themselves. That is called as what? Species. A species. Survival of the species depends on the variations. More variation leads to the more survival advantage. More survival advantage. Understood? Some survival. See, all the time variation cannot give the survival advantage. Sometimes it gives a survival advantage, sometimes may not. Some variation can be adverse effect also. Understood? Just go through that. So it is in page. See, accumulation of variation during the reproduction. That you go through that. In the present chapter, that is heredity and evolution. So similarly, in the reproduction chapter, see, you can go through the page number 37. How do organism reproduce? Reproduce. In that para, you go through that para and understand the concept. And next page number 38. They have given the importance of variation. That also read it. You will understand very easily what I told just now. All will be present in this paragraph, which is present in page number 38 and page number 39. So go through that. Similarly, go through the page number 43. Why the sexual mode of reproduction, and page number 44. They are given about these variations and all. I hope you understood the concept. I think. If you have any doubt, please ask now. Shaman?
sir.
Understood the concept?
Yes, sir.
Siri,
Yes, sir.
any doubts you have?
No doubts.
Okay. Variations, heredity, all understood, I think, now?
Yes, sir. Understood.
DNA replication, all that. Soumya Agde. Soumya Agde.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts you have?
No, sir. No doubts.
Nutan Agde.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No.
No doubt. Okay. What is heredity? Nutan? Nutan, what is heredity? Nutan? Nivedita, understood the concept?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is heredity?
Transfer of character from one generation to other generation.
What do you mean by variation?
Due to changes in DNA during cell division, new character is developed. That new character is called as variation.
What is another word for character?
Trait.
Right.
T.
Okay, thank you. Nikhil or Agde? Nikhil,
Yes, sir.
any doubts you have?
No, sir.
Okay. Nikhil Naik. Nikhil Naik. Nikhil Naik. Karthik Agde.
Sir, no doubt.
Okay. Ashwit. Ashwit. Bhuvana.
Yes, sir.
ಏನೇ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ?
No, sir.
ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ?
Hmm.
ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಅನಿಕೇತ್ ಹೆಗಡೆ.
Understood, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we'll move to the next concept, that is so I told you already heredity. See, heredity, it will transfer a character from one generation to other generation. Character will be transferred. I told you, I given an example of the Rajkumar. So if you see Rajkumar, the nose is very peculiar. The nose is very peculiar. This nose, if you see in all the three sons, if you take, the similarity is there in the nose. So you maybe heard maybe know, you may be knowing the one of the son of Rajkumar, that is Raghavendra Rajkumar. So the complexity means fairness. Complexity is similar to Rajkumar. The nose is very similar to Rajkumar. If you take Punit Rajkumar, his acting skill is superb and his dancing skill is superb. If you see the physical appearance, if you take it, it resembles the Paratama Rajkumar. If you tell. See, that is nothing but the transfer character from mother. Some set of character is transferred from the mother. Some set of character is transferred from the father. Understood? So means we have an individual have both the character. Some characters are are gathered from the father, and some of the characters are gathered from the mother. That is known as heredity. Those characters which are transferred from one generation to other generation, that is called as inherited character. Inherited character or trait. Inherited character. Inheritance. We call it as inheritance. It's transfer of character. The character which are transferred from one generation to the other generation, that character is called as inherited character, inherited trait we call it as. Understood? So you may be having, you may be seen some of the individuals have the ears. So on the ears they have hairs. That is the unique character if you tell. So for every human being it is not there. It is present in some families like. So that character will be transferred from one generation to other generation. Understood? That character is called. One more I told you, hemophilia. Hemophilia is a disease, genetic disease. The genetic disease is again transferred from one generation to other generation. See, genetic disease, we call it as. They are called as inherited character. There is one more character, that is acquired character. Acquired trait. Acquired trait means this is the trait or character which is developed in the lifetime, which will be not transferred. The character which is present in the which is developed during the life cycle. The character which is developed during the life cycle and it is not carried to the next generation is called as acquired character. Example: if you cut the tail of the dog, when it was small, the small dog, if you take in villages, they have a habit of cutting the tail. You know what is the reason for that? They cut the tail of the dog. Understood? So, see, that is not inherited character, it is a acquired character. It is acquired. Means in the lifetime it is acquired, but it is not transferred to the next generation. We cannot expect the baby of that dog having without a tail, we cannot expect. It is not possible also. That character is not an acquired character. So girls, you will wear the earrings. During wearing the earrings, you will prick the ears. Ear pinna, we will prick it. That pricking is an acquired character. That cannot be transferred. You cannot expect the child with the pricked pinna. We cannot expect. That is the acquired character. Understood? That is the difference between the acquired character and the inherited character. So, acquired characters are the characters which are produced, developed in the life cycle. So, inherited character is a character which are transferred from one generation to other generation during the life. It is just transferred. That type of character is called as inherited character and acquired character. Understood? So, we have a lot of inherited character which is transferred from one generation to other generation. So, we get a lot of character from our mother, our parents, both mother and father. Then from us it will be transferred to the next generation. Means our daughter, our son. So my son or my daughter will have characteristics of my wife, if I tell the example. Understood? Like that. So I told you, see, whenever you go to a village, your home, not native place. Whenever you go to a native place, you will be identified by your mother or father name. By seeing your face, they may recognize you as such and such people. You are the son of such and such people. They identify easily. ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಸಪೋಸ್ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಖ ನೋಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮನ ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿಯೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರ್ತದ, ನೀ ಇಂಥವ್ರ ಮಗನ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಈಗ ರಶ್ಮಿ ಪೈ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದ್ವಿ ಅಂತ, ಯಾರೋ ಅವರಿಗೆ ರಶ್ಮಿಗೆ ಪರಿಚಯ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀನು ಪೈ ಅವ್ರ ಮಗಳ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಅಪ್ಪನ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್. ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮದರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಾದರ್, ಸೊ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ inherited character. Understood? This is about the inherited and acquired character. Understood? So next part of the lesson we are going to study about the Mendel's law of inheritance. Mendel's law of inheritance. Mendel's law of inheritance. Mendel's law of inheritance. He proposed so Mendel law of inheritance. So this concept we'll see tomorrow. There are 3 laws proposed by the Gregor Mendel. First law, second law, third law. So that the laws we will study in the next class. Okay. So before that we have to see the Mendel's contribution and why from which plant or which animals he has proposed the law of inheritance, that we have to see. So in the next class we will see that. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.